Today we're going to finish with our study of John, and we're going to be looking at John chapter 1, verse 6 through 13. This is titled, How to Become Children. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness. The true light was heralded by a special messenger from heaven, sent from God for a witness. That is a perfect life which fulfills the purpose of God, although it may be both solitary and brief. It is not necessary that a man should live long, but if his life is not to be a failure, it is necessary that he should live to the glory of God. As soon as we become children of God by being born anew from above, we enter into that relationship with him who makes it possible for us to become like John, a man sent from God for a witness. Then how can we become children of God? The answer here is short and simple. As many as receive him, to them gives he the right to become children of God. That's in John 1:12. No man has the right to be called a child of God who has not received him. God hath made of one blood all nations, but the blood of nations is not the same as the blood of Christ. Great emphasis is put upon the him whom we are to receive. The act of receiving avails only because it brings us into contact with the one. In John 1:10, who made the world? The world was made by him. He who made the world can easily remake a human soul. His creative power was manifested while in the world by his miraculous works, such as feeding the thousands with a few loaves and stilling the tempest with the raging waves. Again, look at John 1:10, who was in the world? Him who made the world, and he who humbled himself to be born into the world in the likeness of sinful flesh, that he might get into personal touch with man's sins and sorrows. In the world, but not of it, among sinners, but entirely separated from them, in the world as the visible representative of the invisible God. Who is the true light? This is in John 1:9. This is the only light that can possibly lighten every man coming into the world. Because this true light is the life of men, him who is eternally perfect with all the perfections of eternity. He is the true light, the true vine, the true bread. He is the truth. To receive him is to receive the light of life. Who is rejected by his own? The world knew him not, and his own received him not. John 1:10 through 11. They knew him as the son of Joseph, but as the Son of God they refused to acknowledge him. Although they lived and moved and had their being in him, yet they knew him not. They received with eagerness his daily rewards, but him they received not. No one could convince him of sin. No one could find a fault in him, yet his own received him not. The fact that he was the first rejected and then accepted by his own kinsfolk is another proof of the divinity of his character. He did the works that no other man could do, and so attested his claims, and as many as receive him must be prepared to suffer reproach with him. Who has the authority to make us children of God? As many as received him, to them gave he the right to become children of God. John 1:12. This prerogative is his alone. No church privilege or laying on of hands can give anyone the right to become son of God. The spirit of adoption is a gift of God. That's in Romans 8:15. There is no other way whereby we can become the children of God but through faith in Christ Jesus. Galatians 3:26. Christ came as the sent one of God to redeem us, that we might receive the adoption of God. Galatians 4:4 through 5. He has the right to adopt because he has the power to redeem. As many as receive him receive redemption from sin and guilt. Who has the power to regenerate the soul? Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. John 1:13. To become a son of God implies regeneration by the Spirit of God. It is not a natural birth, not of blood. It cannot be produced by any amount of fleshly energy, nor of the will of the flesh. Neither can it come by the force of intellectual effort, nor of the will of man. It is of God, and is God's immediate answer to our faith in His Son Jesus Christ. As many as receive Him are born of God. How shall I put you among the children? Receive Him. Till next time, God bless.